You have to understand that every portion of your life is designed with a purpose in mind. You don't have dreams without test. You understand? And everything you're going through is God preparing you for what you asked for. So when you get tested, it's actually God preparing you for what you asked for. You got to have hardships, setbacks, missteps. See, the only way to learn how to get up, you got to fall. Only way to learn how to get over, you got to be under. The only way to learn how to win, you got to lose. Only way to appreciate the laughter, you got to be crying. You would not appreciate the sunshine if it didn't rain. You would not love the morning sunlight if it never got dark. It is designed that way in life, man. So you need everything that happens to you to happen in the exact order. You don't like it. I didn't like being homeless. I didn't like living in a car. I didn't like getting divorced. I didn't like losing everything twice. I didn't like none of that. But it was preparing me for a life he had for me. So having lost everything twice, I have a much greater appreciation for what God has given me now because I'd have done without it. So see, you appreciate, you learn. You got to have it that way. You don't learn nothing when you're winning. You learn through failure. Failure is the part of the process people don't like, but that's the win. Michael Jordan took over 900 game-winning shots. Michael Jordan ain't made but 147 of them shots. You ain't heard nothing about them misses. They only write about the wins, man. But he learned how to get them 146 by missing 750 times. You see what I'm saying? A baseball player make millions of dollars if he get to the plate and he's successful 3 out of 10 times. 3 out of 10. He just got to get a hit 3 out of 10 times. That's crazy. And you can make millions of dollars because they don't care about them 7 times when you don't get them hits. What they pay you for is them makes. That you can miss. You can miss 7 out of 10. But if you get 3 hits every 10 times you go to the plate, you finna make hundreds of millions of dollars. Ain't that crazy? And that's how life is, man. It's just a few wins. I had a lot of shows. The majority of shows I've had ain't on TV no more. But Family Feud on there, the Judge Show on there, I only need 3 hits. All I need is 3 hits. I got 3 hits. Come on, y'all. The boredom of normalcy and the numbness of mediocrity stiffens your passion. What that meant was I was so sick of myself. I was so bored in my life, man. I was so tired of being mediocre. I was just tired of it, and it was all my fault. I was mediocre because I wasn't doing the things to be exceptional. And I was bored. I was losing my mind, man, on the assembly line at Ford Motor Company, going door to door selling life insurance at a debit company. I was tripping, man. I said, man, what is this? My life can't be this. You know, you ever say to yourself, man, it's got to be more to my life than this? If you've ever said that, that's because it is. I was determined to be something. And my dreams of being a TV personality was bigger than, I was homeless, man. I mean, you're in a position where you're going, I got nowhere to go except up. I don't know how you feel about poverty, but that got on my nerves. And homeless is a whole nother level of poverty. Not having a bathroom, a bedroom, a back door, a TV. I got real strong in that car. I ain't trying to be preachy or nothing, but that pushed me towards my faith. Living in the car taught me that this ain't it. So the things I'm going through now, I know this ain't it. That he gonna come get me in a minute. I used to always imagine myself in front of 10,000 people. Man, I'm one of the original kings of comedy, man. You know how many people I done been in front of? I done told jokes in front of 44,000 people before. God is amazing, man. If you come to him, he always hears you. He's always available. He ain't ever too busy. That's the cool thing about it. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. He gave all of you a gift, all of you. Every last one of you, you're gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you sitting in here were given a gift at birth. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. It ain't under no rocks. He put it in you at birth. He gave you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. That's the thing you should pursue. Until you follow your dream and connect it to your gift, you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy, man. I just got to tell you, you got to chase that dream before you die, man. You should go and live your dream. Just go see. And if you're unhappy with your life, if you haven't figured your life out, if you're thinking there's more to your life than it is, it's because the only reason you have that question is because you're not living in your gift. Once you discover your gift, there lies your greatest chance for success. God puts your real life in your imagination. That's where your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination. See, God never reveals the path to you. He shows you what it could look like, but he don't show you the route. Because if he showed you the route, you'll turn around. Everybody would quit. If you knew what you had to go through to get to where he had for you to go, you would all quit. I would quit too. It's no way I would have had a stuttering problem. It's no way I would have lived in a car for 3 years. It's no way if I'd have knew that when I quit my job to do comedy, what was going to happen to me, I would have never quit my job. But he don't show you that. He just lets you have the dream. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction. Once you understand that and quit looking at your imagination as hocus pocus, it opens up a wide range of things and possibilities. And if you're bold enough to chase the dream, he'll get you through the journey. You just can't quit in the middle of the journey because he know you're chasing dreams. God in to make your dream come true business. That's real talk. I kid you not. That's what God gave you, equipped you with to be. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, singing, and dancing. Babysitting is a gift. If you're a smart student, smart is a gift. If people come to your house and they in your kitchen to get their hair done instead of going to a salon, you do hair. That's your gift. If they can't have a bake sale without your pies and cakes, if you bake pies and cakes better than everybody, then that's your gift. You bake pies and cakes. That's your gift. You don't have to think about it. That's what you do. All my brothers, everybody told me, you can't go be no comedian. I left anyway. I won amateur night on October 8th, 1985. I won $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, 1985. Quit my job. Everybody in my neighborhood called me a fool. I send planes, pick all of them up, take them to shows. All of them. All of them. You got to chase that dream before you die, man. Bishop Jake said one time, Bishop Jake said, I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. We shouldn't let that happen. You got to chase your dream. I'm a miracle. I come from nothing to here. I come from the back to the front, from the bottom to the top. Look, man, I was completely written off. I had nothing, man. I didn't see, I ain't seen a way out some days, man. Man, but can I tell you something? If you can, in spite of all this happening to you, if you can keep the faith, that's all it takes. And it sounds like, well, it don't make no sense. Sometimes that's all you got. You just got to have faith. You got to have the belief in something that you cannot see. And you got to believe that something is going to happen when it don't look like nothing can happen no kind of way. That's all. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a lot of days when that's all you got. You understand? See, people look at me now and they see this. You ain't see the trip I was on to get here, though. See, you missed all that. Oh, Steve, you say that. You got this, you got that. Uh-uh. No, man, I'm telling you, bottomed out. I'm telling you, nothing. You can have absolutely no idea how you're going to make it. You can have no idea what your next move is going to be. You can have no idea what you're going to be. But let me tell you what can change all of that. If you can just summon the strength or the will in you to make one connection with your creator. If you can have a conversation with God, very simple. Hey, God, I need some help here. I can't figure it out. But I don't know if you notice or not, figuring it out ain't your job. There ain't one scripture in the Bible that asks you to figure nothing out. Ask, believe, receive. Look, man, I know the difficulty of that because I had to really wrap my mind around that. What you mean ask, believe, and receive? You got to ask God who created you why you were made. The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. So you need to get to the why. You're already born, but the only person that knows why is the person that made you. Your mama ain't got to know. Daddy don't know. Your creator knows. Ask, then you got to believe that he is who he is. So you got to know who you are and you got to know whose you are. You got to understand that. Then, after that, you got to be open to receive the answer. Quit tripping. Quit tripping trying to figure it out. The how-to is none of your business. Lord, I want to be rich. And then he don't need you telling him how to do it. The how-to ain't your business. All I know is I was sick and tired of living in this car. So I made a promise to him. I said, if you get me out this car and you lift me up, and wherever you taking me, when you take me and you get me there, I'm going to tell everybody it was you. Now, the rest of it was on him. But you can't cut on, I don't care if you cut on a game show of mine, a radio show of mine, a talk show of mine, you going to hear me say something about God. Or else you don't know Steve Harvey. Because I promised him. Now, I didn't know how I was going to get here. And I'm telling you something else, I ain't see none of this. I ain't see none of that. I just wanted to be a comedian. And when it was the Kings of Comedy, I thought I had achieved the ultimate. I was one of the top comedians in the world. The Kings of Comedy was the biggest thing ever. I thought I had topped out. Oh my God. Little did I know what he had in store for me. You think the Kings of Comedy was big, you ought to see how I'm living now. He took me, man. Loyalty has an expiration date. And what I mean by that is, oftentimes you're loyal to people long after their loyalty to you has gone. Because you're a good person, you overlook it and you just remain the person you are, loyal to a person whose loyalty has expired for you. Loyalty has an expiration date. You just have to wake up and realize that the expiration date has expired, that you got some bad milk now.
Oh, wow.
You just got some bad milk. And when you realize that, it's okay. You ain't got to trip. You ain't got to confront her. She has given you permission to be free. You should just take it. Go on and chill. Okay. Call every night, hey girl. Y'all ain't even got to break up. Hey girl, how you doing? Click.
Just wondering if you have any advice on what you did when you turned 40 or how you deal with getting older.
Yeah, you're freaking out because you're turning 40?
Yeah, I'm just stressing out about it. Like, she's crazy.
It's a great thing, man. See, remember this, bruh. Old is the goal. It's the goal, man, of all of us. It's like the coolest thing ever to live to get to another birthday. It's such a cool thing, man. You're still here. You got another shot. Every day God wakes you up is a sign from him that he ain't through with you yet. Yeah, man. It's a celebration, man. Hey, I'm 61. I'm so cool with it. I mean, look, you got to be able to handle 40. You let them stick that needle upside your neck like that. You have learned one thing from all of this. Stop talking about your relationship to other people.
Yeah.
Here's the best advice I ever got. When you get married, form a two-handed circle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody else in that circle. Because if you let your mama in, she gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
You can't let your friends in, they gonna mess it up. Form a two-handed circle, don't let nobody in it. You good. Most men in here sitting next to a woman. That brother right there, the frat brother with the glasses on. See the woman sitting next to him? He hit jackpot. Turn around. See that man up there with the green shirt on? Look at the woman sitting next to him. He hit jackpot. It's not an accident. See this couple right here on the front row? Look at her. Now look at him. He hit the jackpot. Y'all seen my wife Marjorie? Now look at me. Jackpot. Dog. Now in that, you're trying to hold on tight. But if you squeeze something too tight, it's like toothpaste. If you squeeze toothpaste too tight, it get out the tube. Let her have say-so around the house. Now, you got a good thing. Before you squeeze the toothpaste out on the floor, let her go. Because you ain't going to get no finer chick than this right here. Look, people have kids out of wedlock all the time. That says nothing about you. That don't make you a bad person. That don't make you something wrong with you. You know how many good people make mistakes all the time. The problem is God don't make no mistakes. Pretty good deal. You're going to be fine. It's not much really changed, man. I mean, I did the show from the very beginning the same way. I just got more viewers. It's the #1 game show in the world. So, that right there is another example of favor. You know what I mean? Look, I mean, I come to work every day. I do the show, but I don't have to have the biggest game show in the world. I don't have to. Why? Why? Because he gave it to me. That's favor. You can set. I'm gonna tell you. See, people don't get it, man. You can put on your vision board. You want to be famous all you want. I want to be a star. You can't make yourself a star. You can't make yourself famous. It ain't you, partner. That's a decision God makes. And he gives it to you, but he gives it to you because of people. I'm who I am because y'all tune in and make me who I am. If y'all stop tuning in, this ain't the same dude no more. You get what I'm saying? And so what makes y'all tune in? That God gave me favor. Y'all didn't know me till I showed up on TV somewhere. You know, that's favor, man. You got to understand. A lot of people, they don't get that part of it. You know, they always struggling to find the answer for it so they can have some little smart answer for the reporters. I don't. I've talked to reporters all the time. I say it's grace and favor. What do you mean by that? Okay, so you don't go to church. Okay, I got it. Grace is God's unmerited favor. That means he gives you something that you don't deserve. Grace is given to you and you can't earn it. You can't purchase it. If I could buy grace, I'd take all the money I got and just purchase grace with it. It is God's unmerited favor. You can't even, there's nothing you can do to get it. He just do a solid for you. But see, you get solids because you ask for solids. You have not because you ask not. The majority of people don't have what they want in this world because you don't never ask God for it. You tripping, man, because you think You think it's about you? You think it's you? Oh, no. It's not. You got to ask God for stuff. He created you. You got to ask him, your maker, for things in this world. You keep trying to figure out why you ain't got it, because you ain't asked God for it. Keep trying to figure it out yourself, how that's working for you. Huh? Better get to asking. You better get to asking. Just why would you not? All you got to do is ask God. That's what I do. Everything I got, I ask God. I'll show you my vision board. It's everything I'm asking God for. The how-to is none of your business. Nowhere in the Bible does it tell you to figure out how to. It say ask, believe, receive. That's the trick. It ain't nothing else. I ask, I believe, I get ready to receive. Faith without works is dead. I'm going to put in the work. So that's the trick, man. Stop tricking yourself out and ask for favor. It's really that simple. It's not, don't make this more difficult than it is. Listen to me, I'm telling you this how I don't have no education. I don't have nothing. I have faith. That's all you need. Faith. Come on, let's go. I'm going to tell you something that every successful person has to do, including you. Believe it or not, every successful person in this world has jumped. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. You are going to have to jump. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. If you are waking up thinking that it's got to be more to your life than it is, man, believe that it is. Believe in your heart of hearts that it is. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump. I'll tell you why I call it jumping. See, God, when he created all of us, he gave every last one of us a gift at birth. He never created a soul without endowing them with a gift. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, sing, and dance. You've got to identify that gift. Now listen to me. When you see people in life, when you're standing on the cliff of life and you see people soaring by, when you see people soaring, going to exotic places, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and your neighbor just gets a car every year, every 2 years. You know, how is he doing that? Have you ever thought, maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift? Because your Bible says, your Bible says your gift will make room for you. Your gift, not your education. You go get an education, that's nice. But if you don't use your gift, that education only gonna take you so far. I know a lot of people got degrees, man. They ain't even using them. It's your gift. But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump.
Go into action with your dream and don't avoid where the fights are. Get in the midst of the fight and get some hickeys on your head. Get knocked down so you can learn how to fight so you can hold your position. See, most people don't get out in the arena of life because they don't want to fight. Most people don't get out there because they don't want to get knocked down. They don't want to be dropped to their knees. But see, you're going to be dropped whether you're on the field or whether or not you're sitting on the sidelines. You're going to be dropped. So at least get dropped for something. Don't get knocked down while you're sitting down. See, that's how most people are spectators in life. You don't want to be a spectator. You want to get out in the field where the action is, and you will be amazed. After the struggle, there will be a calm period, and things will begin to click for you. Come out here with what you got. You don't have enough money? Don't worry about it. You got the dream. You got the idea. You don't have enough resources? Don't worry about it. You need some help? Don't worry about it. You get out here in the arena, someone will look at you and become inspired and say, hey, can I help you? But if you're sitting up on the bleachers, nobody's going to ask you anything.
You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. You got to jump off that cliff and pull that cord. That gift opens up and provides the soul. If you don't ever use it, you're going to just go to work. And if you're getting up going to work on a job every day that you hate going to, that ain't living, man. You just existing. At one point in time, you ought to see what living's like. But the only way to see what living like, you got to jump. And here's the problem. I'm going to just be real with you. When you first jump, your parachute will not open right away. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you it did, but it don't. When you jump, it's not going to open right away. You're going to hit them rocks. You're going to get some skin tore off on them cliffs. You're going to get some cuts on you. You're going to be bleeding pretty bad. But eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise of God. That ain't a theory. That's a promise. His promises is true. Because listen to me. You cannot name one single thing God has not gotten you through. And the living proof of it is you sitting in here. If he hadn't got you through it, you wouldn't even be here. So if he ain't never not got you through it, why would he not let your parachute open? It has to open, man. You got to jump, though. You can play it safe and deal without the cuts and the tears. And you can stand on that cliff of life forever safe. But if you don't jump, I got another promise I can make you. Your parachute will never open. You'll never know. You'll never know what God really has. Your Bible says that he comes to give you life and give you life more abundantly. If I were you, I would jump. Because that's the only way to get to that abundant life. You got to jump, man. You got to take a chance. Well, I got bills. Whether you stay on the cliff or you jump, you're going to have bills. Well, if I quit my job, I'm going to ruin my credit. If you got a job, you live in check to check. Even if you got A1 credit, you can't buy nothing else no damn way. At one point in time, man, do yourself a favor. Go see what God really do. God hold you up, man. He ain't going to let you fall. He ain't bring you this far to let you fall. Do yourself a favor, man. Before you leave this world, before you die, jump. Just jump one time.
You deserve to win. You deserve to have great things happen in your life. There was a point in time in your life when you were little where you knew you were going to be somebody. Has there ever been anybody in your life who made you feel special like that? Like when you were a little boy or a little girl, maybe it was your grandmother, your mom, your dad, a school teacher, a coach. Is there somebody in your life, they just kind of knew there was something about you? I don't care who it was. Everybody does, by the way. The Lord sends all of us one. All of us in our life. If you haven't had them yet, they're going to arrive. You picture their face. Honor those people with your life. Because here's what happens. From when you were that little boy or that little girl, at some point you felt those feelings. Prove them right. Because there's an end to your life. And it's coming sooner than you think. It goes by like this. Just yesterday, she was 8 months old. Now she's got a boyfriend. Just yesterday, I was a young, cool guy. Just yesterday, me and my girlfriend were walking on the beach. Someday I'm going to do that. It goes by in a flicker. Just like that. In a blink. I don't care how young you are, in a blink. And you best get in a damn hurry. Because you only got 8 years of life, by the way. Just so you know. You only live 8 years. Average person lives 78. You spend 28 of those years sleeping. You spend 10 and a half to 12 of them working. You spend another 3 or 4 shopping, chores, internet, traffic, add it up, you get 8 years. And you're not a newborn, so you got less than that. When I was a kid growing up, I don't know if you had this, my mom had the good china in a china cabinet. We had this furniture in the living room that was wrapped with cellophane that we weren't allowed to sit on until important people came over. Anybody have any of that in their house? We never got around to sitting on it. And it died and got stale and old and dated, and so do dreams. If you don't start getting after your dream, it'll get old and dated and stale because you keep wrapping it in cellophane. You keep waiting until you know a little more. Till I know a little more. If I just knew a little more, that's BS. You don't need to know a little more. You need to execute a little more. You need to get after it. You need to make some mistakes. Perfection is the lowest possible standard. Quit trying to be perfect. You got to get in a hurry. Time is running out. And at some point, it's going to be over. And you're going to run into that person. This was the man you were born to be. Your twin's going to be there. This is who you were born to be. These are the people you could have helped, the memories you could have had, the things you could have accomplished, how you could have felt about yourself, the things you'd have seen, done, and become. This is who you could have been. This is who I saw you to be. I couldn't say it. I didn't understand it, but I felt it. I knew you were going to be this person. Meet him. To me, heaven when we die is we meet that person we were capable of being, destined to be, and we're identical twins. Hell is you meet them and you're total strangers. My obsession in my life is when I meet that, he's going to meet me and go, hey, man, proud of you. Been watching you this whole time. Man, you did it. You got off track there for a while. It took you a little while. You're a late starter. But, man, you did it. You accomplished it all. You did it all. You became the man you were born to be. I'm proud of you. And I'm going to say, brother, I've been chasing you all these years. I'm running down that guy. I'm running him down. Every decision I make when I'm down and lazy and depressed and bummed out like I've been this week, I don't do things based on how I feel. I do things based on who I am. And who I am is that guy. And every decision, that action, does it move me closer to being that man? Does it move you closer to being that woman? That's the barometer of how you think. That's the barometer of how you live your life. Does it move you closer to being that person you knew at some point you were capable of being? They knew you were capable. And if they weren't there, I promise you, God in heaven knows who you're capable of being. You were put here to do something great with your life. You were put here to win, man. You were put here to help other people, to contribute in little ways and big ways. You may not be world famous, worth $100 million, but there's a destiny you're supposed to fulfill. There's people you're supposed to help. There's a difference you're supposed to make. Your life, your way, special to you. Not mine, not jets, not houses, not cars. Your precious life. Your beautiful life. Your soul. Your gifts. Your difference. What if your destiny is to be that person I just described in someone else's life? I want you to win. Winning is not hundreds of millions of dollars, but you should go get some.
There's nobody in the world has lied to me more than me. How many times do you tell yourself, it's going to be different this year? How many times have you started the diet saying, oh, this is my year. I'm going to start this year strong. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to eat right. 2 weeks later, what'd you do? You lied to yourself.
Real talk. Most of y'all aren't going to do a fucking thing. And you're going to be mad at me because I fucking said it, when in reality, you should be mad at yourself because 2 years ago you said shh. Last year you said shh. This year you're saying shh. And next year you're going to be saying the same shh. How about this for 2021? We look at ourselves in the mirror and we tell ourselves the truth. We look at our lives and we tell ourselves the truth. Truth is this. It's very simple. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. You've either been executing or you haven't been executing. You either are truly ready to make a fucking change or you're not. It doesn't matter how many fucking videos you watch. It doesn't matter how many courses you buy. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is what you're going to do. You got to make a decision that you are not going to be like everybody else. You are not going to live how they live. You are not going to eat how they eat. You're not going to drink how they drink. You're not going to do the kind of work they do. And then you've got to go do that. And you've got to do it one day at a time. Win today. Then you wake up tomorrow and you do the same thing. Then you wake up on Wednesday and you do the same thing. Then you wake up on Thursday and you do the same thing. And when you get to the point where you're winning every day and it's automatic, guess what happens? Winning becomes not something that you aspire to do. Winning becomes who you are.
I am not phenomenally skilled, but I'm phenomenally willed. My IQ may never change, but my will changes every year. I get stronger and stronger and more determined. Why? Because it's in my DNA. I want to be successful. I want to execute. I want to make all my dreams become a reality. I want to do everything I said I'm going to do. So my appetite increases. It gets stronger every year. I want more every year. I want to do more every year. I want to help more every year. I want to be bolder. I want to be better. I want to be stronger every single year. Every single year, your appetite should go up. You should never get settled. You should never get settled. You should never get content. Every single year.
The waiting and the thinking and the planning, stuff doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't move you forward. In fact, you're going backwards. You're going backwards because the world is moving forward. So if you're standing still, you're actually going backwards. So don't sit around and think about it anymore. Take action. I don't care how small it is. I don't care how minuscule the movement is, but make movement. Move forward and do that every single day, no matter what. Be what it is you claim to be about. Be what it is you truly want to be. If you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to change your life, if you truly want to lose 50, 100, 200, 500 pounds, be about it today.
This is not a year that you're going to be doing a lot of talking. This is the year for grinding. This is not the year of dreaming. We're not dreaming no more. We're not wishing no more. We're not watching other people ride the ride no more. We're not watching people cash checks no more. We're not doing that no more. This is our year.
My mother was a Sunday school teacher for 40 years when she was living. She used to always tell me, she said, God blesses you to become a blessing. Well, I didn't get it back then because I ain't had nothing. So he blessed me. Mama, we ain't got nothing. She said, but one day, son, you're going to be different. I'm standing here today because I learned something. I just try to tell people some real basic stuff to succeed. You do not have to be educated to succeed. So you can quit beating yourself up about your lack of education. Education ain't in the Bible. Harvard ain't in there. UCLA ain't in there. Now, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, scientist, dentist, you got to go to school. We understand that. Maybe if you're gifted with your hands of healing, you do that. But what about if you like me? What if you like you? What if you ain't a school person? What you gonna do? Suppose you got a learning disability. Suppose you dyslexic. Suppose you just don't get it. You know, I just didn't get math. Once you got past adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division, you lose me. I don't know. I only know what I know. I learned to identify this gift of mine, and this gift has made room for me. Now, I've told you that. But here is the other thing. Once you identify your gift, you have got to write this information down. If you do not have a vision board, if you don't have a dream list, I am telling you, you are complicating your process to getting what you want in life. You're complicating it because you are missing, because maybe nobody ever told you, or maybe you don't think that it applies to you, but a simple principle of success is that it has to be written down somewhere. Oprah was on TV for 30 years talking about these vision boards. Oprah. She got $1 billion. She has my attention. Now, like I said earlier, you don't got to be rich to be happy. Maybe your goal is not to make $1 million. That's cool. But maybe you just need 150,000. Maybe you just need 200,000. I'm telling you, you have to write this information down. I don't care what church you go to, synagogue, temple, mosque. If you don't write it down, chances of it happening is slim. Could that be the one thing that's holding you back? If I'm telling you this, a dude with no education, I can't read a business periodical. My head will explode. I don't even know what they're talking about. This is not what I do. Too many times, people have you focusing on your weaknesses. You're wasting your time. You ain't got to strengthen that. Work on what you good at. If you focus on what you good at, you'll make enough money. You hire somebody to be what you ain't. I got all kind of people read numbers and contracts and all that because I can't do it. But I hire them. Listen, man, you've got to write this information down. Let me tell you what the reason writing it down is important. Because it plants the information in your subconscious. That means write exactly what you want. Don't deviate. Be clear. If you want 4 cars, it's nothing wrong with wanting 4 cars. If you want 3 houses, you can have 3 houses. Why not? Why? Why you just can't get a home? What kind of God you serve when he won't give you a house? It's just a house. Somebody asked me the other day, they saw my vision board, they said, man, where your dream car at? They in the driveway. They've been marked off the vision board a long time ago. The vision boards work. I'm not bragging, I'm telling you how this works. You don't think I got all these TV shows, I ain't making no money now. I'm out here hustling and grinding, but I'm willing to work. You got to write everything you want down. Now, if you want, like I said, you can go to school, try to get you another degree. I don't have one. I'm telling you what I did to get here. I learned a few scriptures that made some good sense to me. You have not because you ask not. So you mean to tell me if I just keep asking you for it and believing in it, that's one way to get it? Okay, cool. Then you tell me faith without works is dead. You tell me if I believe in you and I'm willing to work, I should have it. But I can't believe in it and don't work and I won't get it. Okay, I understand that one. And then you tell me to write the vision and make it plain. I can do this. These are things you can do today that ain't got nothing to, you don't need nobody's permission to succeed. To get to God, you ain't got to check with nobody. He available to you today. You ain't got to get cleared. His line ain't busy. You can talk to him right now. I do it all the time. That's how I got here. I'm telling you how you can get to where you're trying to go. Then you can go get your another education if you want to. You have to understand that every portion of your life is designed with a purpose in mind. You don't have dreams without tests. You understand? And everything you're going through is God preparing you for what you asked for. So when you get tested, it's actually God preparing you for what you asked for. You got to have hardships, setbacks, missteps. See, the only way to learn how to get up, you got to fall. Only way to learn how to get over, you got to be under. The only way to learn how to win, you got to lose. Only way to appreciate the laughter, you got to be crying. You would not appreciate the sunshine if it didn't rain. You would not love the morning sunlight if it never got dark. It is designed that way in life, man. So you need everything that happens to you to happen in the exact order. You don't like it. I didn't like being homeless. I didn't like living in a car. I didn't like getting divorced. I didn't like losing everything twice. I didn't like none of that. But it was preparing me for a life he had for me. So having lost everything twice, I have a much greater appreciation for what God has given me now because I'd have done without it. So see, you appreciate, you learn. You got to have it that way. You don't learn nothing when you're winning. You learn through failure. Failure is the part of the process people don't like, but that's the win. Michael Jordan took over 900 game-winning shots. Michael Jordan ain't made but 147 of them shots. You ain't heard nothing about them misses. They only write about the wins, man. But he learned how to get them 146 by missing 750 times. You see what I'm saying? A baseball player make millions of dollars if he get to the plate and he's successful 3 out of 10 times. 3 out of 10. He just got to get a hit 3 out of 10 times. That's crazy. And you can make millions of dollars because they don't care about them 7 times when you don't get them hits. What they pay you for is them makes. That you can miss. You can miss 7 out of 10. But if you get 3 hits every 10 times you go to the plate, you finna make hundreds of millions of dollars. Ain't that crazy? Listen, getting successful, whatever you consider successful, if it's rich, whatever, it's not a magic trick. It's not God picks certain people he'll make rich and certain people he don't. He gives all of us as his children the power of choice. You have a say-so in that. You can decide to be rich. And with God's help, it's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. I'm not a better person than you. I'm not a better Christian than you. God don't love me more than you. None of that. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change, though. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. It's two people born in a hospital every day. It's a person that's born in a hospital that's going to get a job, and somebody born in a hospital that's going to give them a job. You get to decide which one you're going to be. You get to decide if I'm going to be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. Your mind, all right, here we go. This is the teaching moment. Let me give you this so you can get on with your 2019. You walk in the house, you pick up the remote control. Let me teach you how this works. And you press the power button. When I told you 2019 will be the best year of your life, but you have to claim it. You have to expect it to be the best year of your life. You have to live your life with the expectation that great things are coming your way. And that's how it works. Now, let me teach it to you. You grab your remote. You press the power button. What do you expect to happen? You expect the TV to come on. Guess what? It come on. If you want to see Sports Center channel 46, and you press 46 and OK or select, what do you expect to come on your TV? Sports Center. And guess what show up? Sports Center. They got the concept of creating a remote from the Bible. See, God is tied to all of this. You better understand what I'm trying to tell you now. The Bible says, a man is as he thinketh. God created us in his image. God thought of this world. He thought of it, so he created it. So he made you just like him, that your thoughts can create things. Over here. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. I love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. That ain't happening. You got to get real doggish. You got to get downright funky if you want to make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you want to be ordinary, you ain't upon you like a thief in the night. Even in some of your darkest moments, when you make mistakes, you have got to stick around for the two things that the mistake is made for. Every failure is made for. Every misstep is made for. It is made for a lesson and a blessing. Them two things follow every single one of them every single time. God don't send down rain without a return. When he send down rain, flowers grow. To find your way in life is not an external search. It's an internal search. Because God equipped you the moment he gave birth to you. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. He gave all of you a gift. All of you. Every last one of you, you're gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you sitting in here were given a gift at birth. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. It ain't under no rocks. He put it in you at birth. He gave you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. That's the thing you should pursue. The scripture says your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of important men. That's what your gift will do for you. Everything else you're doing has nothing to do with what God created you for. And if you're unhappy with your life, if you haven't figured your life out, if you're thinking there's more to your life than it is, it's because the only reason you have that question is because you're not living in your gift. Once you discover your gift, there lies your greatest chance for success.
The scripture says the spirit of faith is in our words. When you say, I am blessed, I have favor, I'm coming out of debt, angels go to work. Good breaks will find you. The right people will track you down. And you can think positive. You can believe for favor. That's good, but nothing happens till you speak. The miracle is in your mouth. There is healing in your mouth. There is freedom in your mouth. There are new levels in your mouth.
Negative thinking is a major problem because you've got to get control of this. You actually can control what this does. No one else is in charge. If the devil is in charge, it's because you gave him permission. You allowed him in. If God is operating up there, it's because you gave him permission. You allowed him in. It's a very, listen to me. It's not a magic trick, man. If you want to be successful, you have to get control of this. Like I was telling her earlier, look, you can eradicate negative thinking from your life. Now, it's not going to say you're not going to ever have a negative thought. That's not human. I have them, but I don't have them nowhere near as frequent as I used to because I learned what they are, how they work. I get rid of them. I don't have time for you. I'm on a positive track. I got things I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to be successful and I'm trying to be happy. If you're trying to be successful or happy, you have no room for negativity. The best way to mask yourself from negativity every morning is to start with gratitude. I'm telling you, man, it's a very simple process. Now, there are some books that you can buy. There's Norman Vincent Peale's The Power of Positive Thinking. It's a very old book. It's only in paperback. It's called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. I read this book when I was 20. It started the process to change in my life. Then I read a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. It's by David Schultz. This just trains you how to think big. You know, it doesn't take any more brain power to think big than it does small. Big thinking gets rid of negativity. Dreams and visions gets rid of negativity. But you got to remember, man, that you operate. When you pray, God ain't the only one here to pray. The devil is listening to. So his job is to dissuade you. His job is to keep you off track. Devil ain't got but one job. He don't want you to be successful. He don't want you to discover your dreams. He don't want you talking to God. So he get busy. He busy, man. He send people your way all the time. He all over the internet. He all over social media. The devil got imps. He got people work for him all the time. All they do is just do what he say. Say something funky about her. Yeah. But you can control this part. Now, what you cannot do is bury yourself by using your success compared to other people. See, because here's the danger. Let me teach you this. Success is not how far you got. Because, see, you're going to be disappointed all the time. Because somebody always further than you. So now you'll forever be disappointed. Success ain't how far you got. Success is how far you got from where you started. That's your success. That's yours. You can be successful. But if you constantly looking at somebody else, if I look at Oprah money, I start feeling bad about me. Because I ain't got Oprah money. Man, Oprah got $1 billion. I don't have nowhere near no $1 billion. But you mean to tell me that I ain't smart enough to go?
The daily, you have to prime yourself. You have to do something for 10 minutes minimum. If you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. And
ooh, that's so good.
I mean, I just like, you got to do it, right?
That's good. If you don't have 10 minutes,
you don't have a life
to give to priming yourself.
That's right.
You
If you want a prime life, you want a beautiful life, a beautiful family.
I love that you
But
said
I do it the first time I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
People always ask me, how are you so up all the time? But part of it is I attend all these seminars, I teach all this. But the real reason is
you prime yourself.
I prime myself. That's what I've done for years. It's like I change my body, this radical breathing pattern or movement. There's many ways to do it. But then I do it through 10 minutes. And I do it. It usually goes more because I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But 10 minutes is how I get myself to do it. 3.5 minutes of pure gratitude about 3 things. And I pick one of those 3 to be simple, because I don't want to be the astronaut that, he went to the moon, that was his idea of adventure, and then they all come back and we're depressed because what do I do for the rest of my life? Yes. So the wind in my face, my children's faces, anything. And the reason for gratitude is the 2 emotions that mess us up the most are fear and anger. Yeah. And you can't be grateful and fearful simultaneously. They don't go together. And you can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. So if you literally start your day cultivating that, this is part I was talking about, creating a highway to happiness. Yeah. And then I do 3 minutes of my 3 to thrive. What are 3 outcomes or results I'm really committed to? And I see them as done and fulfilled. And in 10
for
minutes,
that day?
I usually look at something at 6 months, 12 months out. Something that's a little bigger. And then when I feel it's fulfilled and done, and I get thanks for it. And at the end of those 10 minutes, and usually it's 15 or 18 for me, I am so wired. Now, I've done that for years. It's been the basic. What's different with suffering is measuring it moment to moment over. And then the third one for me is, okay, how do I love more? Love to me is an action. It's not a word. It's not an emotion. It's like, if you love, you act accordingly. So love, and what can I do in a loving way? And that what can I be grateful for? That little 3-step process ends the suffering.
70% of the time, people live in stress, and living in stress is living in survival. Now, all organisms in nature can tolerate short-term stress. A deer gets chased by a pack of coyotes. When it outruns the coyotes, it goes back to grazing and the event is over. And the definition of stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of balance, out of homeostasis. The stress response is what the body innately does to return itself back to order. So you're driving down the road, someone cuts you off, you jam on the brakes, you give them the finger, and then you settle back down and the event is over and boom. Now everything's back to normal. But what if it's not a predator that's waiting for you outside the cave, but what if it's your coworker sitting right next to you? And all day long, you're turning on those chemicals because they're pushing all your emotional buttons. When you turn on the stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for disease because no organism long-term effect. Human beings, because of the size of the neocortex, we can turn on the stress response by thought alone. About our problems and turn on those chemicals. That means our thoughts could make us sick. So if it's possible that our thoughts could make us sick, is it possible then our thoughts could make us well? The answer is
all of you have targets, things that you're after. If you're going to get a new result, if you're going to grow your business, if you're going to be able to support your mom, if you're going to get rid of the anxiety, if you're going to be able to overachieve and not have all that fear inside of you, you obviously need to get a new result. You're going to have to get new action. We all know that. You don't get new results with old action. What human beings can do is amazing. What they will do is usually disappointing. It's not because we're not capable of it. It's because we don't have new actions because we get in certain emotional states that dominate us, like anxiety, like fear of failure. So if you're in a state of fear, you're going to behave very differently and get very different results than if you were in a place of being courageous or bold or warm or connected or playful, any of those. So the most important key to changing your life in any situation is to change results. You got to change behavior, but to change behavior, you got to change the emotional state you're in.
The fact is this. You are playing the program 95% of the day, meaning your life is a printout of your program. Anything you're struggling to try to accomplish, whether it's health or love, relationships, whatever it is, if you're struggling, it represents a simple fact. Your subconscious programming doesn't support that conclusion. So the fact is, what are my programs? Look at your struggle. And wherever you're struggling, the struggle is not because the universe won't provide for you. The struggle is an internal job. The struggle is you're trying to overcome previous programming that prevents you to go to that destination. So the wonderful part about this understanding is you don't have to review your life. You can look right now at this one moment, just look in your head and say, what are the things that I keep trying to get? And they seem to be elusive. I can't get them. They're always out of reach. I say, the universe is not holding back. It's your own invisible subconscious behavior. And once you understand where the issues are, and you start to really focus on the point that it's not the universe that's providing the trouble, it's myself. You have the first inclination, the first idea, the first understanding of how to change your life, because now you know exactly what issue is confronting you. You can change the programming. You can rewrite your subconscious programs. If you took the wishes and desires of the conscious mind and use that as a program to put the beliefs into the subconscious mind, it's the most exciting and liberating thing you can ever do in your life. You know why? Because once it's in the subconscious program, 95% of the day, without you even thinking about it, your mind will take you to that direction. And that is your freedom.
I define concentration as the ability to keep that awareness on one thing for a prolonged period of time. So if I can keep my awareness on Eric and not drift away and think about the wedding, or drift away and think about the vacation, or what I'm going to do later, then I'm concentrating on Eric. Every time it drifts away, I bring it back. And the more I practice this, the more I practice concentration. So concentration is the ability to keep your awareness on one thing for a prolonged period of time. And that's a very simple definition of concentration. How do you get better at concentration? You practice this. You practice this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's the only way to get good at it. And what's the best way to practice it? The best way to practice it is to integrate it into everything that you do in your life. Not to meditate 10 minutes in the morning. It doesn't work. You really need to look at your life the same way a sprinter in the Olympics looks at his life. You've all heard of Usain Bolt, the man that won the gold medal twice, 2 Olympics in a row, broke the world record. I don't know anything about him, to be honest. But if I was looked at him, I would assume he goes to the gym, right? If you look at him, he's pretty ripped. He obviously sprints. He practices running. Probably does a lot of long distance. He probably does a lot of stretching as well. I'm sure he gets massages. He looks like he eats the right kind of food. Drinks the right amount of water, takes vitamins. His whole day is so disciplined. For what? To prepare him for 9.57 seconds. I think that's what the world record is, right? 400 meters, 9.5 or 9.57 seconds. His whole day is preparing him for that short time, not the other way around. A lot of people say, you know what, I need to be more concentrated. So you know what, I'm going to meditate in the morning. I'll sit down for 2 minutes. Okay, now I'm Zen master. And the remaining 23 hours and 58 minutes, they just go about being ordinary and crazy. How does that work? How would you change? It's not balanced at all. So if for 23 hours and 58 minutes you were not being concentrated, you allowed your awareness to jump from one thing in your mind to another thing, to another thing, to another thing, to another thing in an uncontrolled way, what would you be good at? The best way to do it is pick a few opportunities in your everyday life. For example, we all speak with people. When I speak with somebody, I give them my undivided attention. I keep my awareness on them. And the conversation is really brief. Why? Because we're concentrated. We're not being distracted. A 10-minute conversation normally just takes 3 minutes because you're just so focused. And out of a prolonged concentration comes the wonderful power of observation. You just become more observant. And when you become more observant, you see solutions quicker and you solve things quicker. And it's a wonderful, powerful feeling when somebody is concentrated on you and not being distracted.
The only way to break a habit, you guys, is not to deal with the triggers. You're never going to get rid of the stress in your life, but you can 100% change your pattern of avoiding work.
It's this fear of discomfort. People have this extreme feeling in their mind when it comes to their associations with exercise.
That's one of my first feeling, that I could hit the ball from any part of the court and feel like I could do it with closed eyes and make it and know exactly where it's going.
It made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today?
If you try and change yourself according to thinking that, oh, I'm going to a different country, or, you know, I need to please, or I need to not be alien enough, or you're overthinking it.
So that's that one voice.
This other voice that we walk very far away from is a voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice.
Your body is like a race car that you can juice up yourself. Like you can add the fat tires. You can add the improved suspension. You can beef up the horsepower in the engine. You can do all that yourself.
You have to be open to understand and accept the fact that you won't know everything.
Right.
And people won't know everything about you. So it's an education. I'm enjoying so much. You have to accept your uniqueness. Yeah, I want to do things that people are like, oh, she's doing that too now. I look for things like that. Whether it's acting, producing, I don't know what it'll be.
Sure.
I don't know.
If you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like one. Like people want all these special things to happen, but then they're acting like everybody else.
Victory. I wanted to win. Not like beat somebody else. It wasn't about that. I just wanted to go the distance. Everything in my life, when something got hard, I quit.
It's this whole new perspective on it. And I think the ease of suffering is always in presence. You know, when you're in presence, truly locked in presence, there is no suffering. There can be pain, but no suffering. Suffering is something created by our own mind.
We all think our stuff is the best. And like, I get that. But yeah, that would be my advice only because that also is liberating. To me, everything's about breathing, right? Like to me, everything is about like, take full ownership for everything and then everything gets easy because then you're in control.
The more I did this, the more I gained confidence. And then the more I gained confidence, the more I realized I was just sacrificing. And then through that, all these different tools started coming up. But I would have never found these tools if I didn't put myself in a very uncomfortable place.